It's so finely processes the kale. You don't have anything in your teeth, so it reduces all those embarrassing moments in the office. Everyone should have a blender in their kitchen. They're vital for so many recipes, from smoothies to margaritas to hummus and more.
There are countless blenders on the market, and we've tested every kind from high-end to inexpensive and everything in between.
But do you really need a high-end blender, or will an inexpensive option do the trick? Lisa and I are going to show you our favorites to help you decide.
First up, Hannah.
All right, so I am here with our high-end blender winner, the Vitamix 5200. This has been our longtime winner. We've revisited the category several times over the years, and it wins every time. This machine actually won because of this canister. It has a long, thin canister, and that's what differentiated the winners from the losers here. The Vitamix actually keeps the food more contained, so it incorporates less air. You get a silkier blend. You know when you have to stop and scrape down mid-blend? You do that less with a taller, thinner jar because it keeps all the contents down towards the bottom. And when you have a bigger, wider blender jar, everything gets over aerated. So your smoothie's kind of frothy and bubbly instead of like dense and velvety and smooth. So a slimmer profile jar actually gets you better blending results. We also like the shorter Vitamixes, and those actually fit under cabinets better. They're great too, but this tall, slim canister just does the best blend, so we preference to that. But this thing is an absolute workhorse. It has a 7-year warranty. These machines were in restaurants first. So these are built for heavy use. One thing I will say about the Vitamixes too is they're relatively quiet. It's a blender, so it's not gonna be like quiet, but compared to other blenders, they're on the quieter end of the spectrum, which is really nice, especially if you're blending in the morning. All right, so I want to show you this thing in action. Let's go make a smoothie. So here I am, I'm with our classic testing smoothie. We always test with the same smoothie, and it's chosen for very specific reasons. We use frozen pineapple because it's really tough and fibrous. And then we also use kale for the same reason, tough and fibrous. We want to give them a challenge. We want to see if they can really break something down into a beautifully clean, even green. I didn't take the stems out of the kale, make it work a little harder, see how that goes. And then we also use orange juice to keep everything nice and liquidy and mixing. This is such a delicious smoothie. When you test blenders, nobody wants to be near you in the test kitchen because it's loud, but everyone wants the smoothie, so you can kind of like make friends again once you like make all these enemies. All right, so here we go. Beautiful pouring spout, if I might add. Gorgeously smooth, velvety green smoothie. Oh, it's so good. So I do want to take a pause talking about full-size blenders and give a shout out to immersion blenders, which are fantastic. Our winner is the Braun Multi-Coic 5. It is so awesome. You can blend soup right in the pot. You don't have to pour hot soup in your blender. They are awesome. I think you should get both, but today we're just focusing on the big boys. All right, so that is a Vitamix 5200. It's awesome. If you have the money to spend, we say get this one. It makes super fine results, beautifully velvety blends. You can do all kinds of things in it. Smoothies, margaritas. You can do tougher things like almond butter or almond milk. You can actually grind grains in these things. They're really impressive. That restaurant heritage, it comes with that durability and performance. So you really are getting something for the high price. Do you have a Vitamix? Do you use an immersion blender? Do I have kale in my teeth? Let us know in the comments. Now let's go over to Lisa and check out her mid-range and inexpensive blenders and see how they compare.
So Hannah showed us the results of our high-end blender testing. We love the Vitamix 5200. I have here the results of 2 other testings where we tested mid-price blenders and inexpensive blenders under $100. These are the winners. In each case, we tested up to 8 models, put them through all those tests to see how durable they were, how tough they were, how loud they were. Our mid-price winner is called the Breville Fresh and Furious, and it's pretty tough. It has long blades that are all different angles. We found that those different angled blades really get in in there and pick everything up. It's got a jar that's not too wide, not too narrow, and it has these nice vertical ribs that will push things around so that you get a nice movement, you get that vortex going. It's got some pre-programmed settings like a smoothie setting, but it also operates manually, and it has a nice countdown feature so you know how long you're going for. So if you need to do something for 30 seconds, you can watch it right there. You don't have to look at another timer. It's very easy to handle. You can put it down anywhere on the base. So if you're a lefty or a righty, very handy. For a less expensive one, this was about $89. It's the NutriBullet full-size blender. This shares a lot of the characteristics of the Vitamix and the Breville. It's powerful. It's got some long blades that go up and down in different directions that catch a lot of the food. It's got these deep ribs that help create a vortex and move the food through the jar down to the blades and up again, so you get this great circulation. That really hard test that usually kills a lot of blenders, which is to grind almond butter from whole toasted almonds. This guy had no problem. Very powerful, very roomy, has this nice big lid, does the same thing, it seals up pretty well. It has an opening here. And it comes with something that the Vitamix also has, which is a tamper. It's deliberately not reaching down to the blade so you don't cut it up, but it can help push things down. You know, one of the things we found about this model compared to a lot of the other inexpensive blenders, it's perfect for big, you know, frozen drinks or smoothies. It did great with almond butter. It can make anything that the bigger blenders can make, with one exception. It's very powerful. And when you want to make something like mayonnaise, which was one of our tests, it doesn't have a low enough speed to do that kind of finesse work. To make mayonnaise, you're putting an egg yolk and some oil, and you need them to move at a good pace, but not too fast, so that they can blend and create an emulsion, which becomes that fluffy white mayonnaise. This guy, a little too powerful for the finesse, but plenty of power for almost anything else you want to do with it, and less than $100. Very simple to operate, low, medium, high, and pulse, and that's it. No pre-programmed settings, nothing fancy about this guy, but nice raw power. And there you have it. For a price point that's under $100, the NutriBullet, the mid-price, the Breville, Fresh and Furious. Now we're gonna make a smoothie. So as you can see, made a great smoothie in both of these blenders, the mid-price and the inexpensive. For the Breville, you get a little bit more hands-off programming, and it's very easy to use, and it's a really nice solid blender with a lot of power for less than half the price of the Vitamix. The NutriBullet, as you saw, big, roomy, can do lots of things. The only thing you're giving up is some of that finesse that you can get with this Fresh and Furious or with the Vitamix. It can't do really low, slow things like mayonnaise. And anything else you want to do in this for under $100, it's a great blender.
Make sure to ask us your blender questions in the comments, like this video, and hit that subscribe button.
For more information on all the products we talked about today, check out the links below.